In today's video, a fired up Uriah Hall goes off on Jake Paul, Dean Thomas parodies Herb Dean, Paulo Costa announces move to boxing, TJ Dillashaw responds to Cody Garbrandt's recent callout, ALJAMAIN STERLING and Chito Vera agree to fight each other, and Daniel Cormier weighs in on Nate Diaz vs Jake Paul. Uriah Hall continues to call out Jake Paul following his victory over Le'Veon Bell at the Paul vs Silva event last Saturday night. During an interview on SiriusXM, the former UFC fighter sent a warning to Paul and explained why he should be his next opponent.
I'm the guy to beat this guy. I am. He ain't fighting no Nate Diaz. He's talking all that. I know how this stuff works. Jake Paul has a team. His team has people who said, hey, Jake Paul, 20% of these people hate you. We need to bring it up to 40. This man is a genius when it comes to stupid shit like this. I hate his face. I hate his little dumb tattoos. I hate what he stands for. If I ever get the chance, I'm going to f him up. He don't want this. He knows I'm the guy. I mean, I walk down Le'Veon Bell and say what you want. That motherfucker is actually good. I really was trying to put him away. So f that stupid, man, I can't even say it on the radio right now what I want to call that dude.
Oh. Uriah also shared his frustration on fighters selling themselves to get a big paycheck.
That's what we have to do these days. We gotta. Right. I mean, I will never sell out ever. But unfortunately, in the UFC and all these other stupid combat sports, you got to sell yourself. You got to pretend to be something that you're not to get some type of recognition. I mean, back in the old days when it's about honor, integrity, and kicking, that don't work anymore. They talk about he's an influencer. Last time I checked, Marcus Garvey's an influencer. Martin Luther King is an influencer. These dumb so-called influencers are taking that title and they're putting it in front of their names. They don't know shit about influence. Get the out of here. You don't influence. I'm going to beat this mother. And I tell you what, if I see him in person, I'll beat his ass on the street.
What do you guys think of this potential matchup? Would you like to see Jake Paul versus Uriah Hall? Let us know in the comments below. UFC referee Herb Dean recently went viral for his flirting outside of a cage at a UFC event, but this isn't Dean's first brush with fame. Dean often goes viral for his notoriously late reactions that compromise the health of athletes in the cage. All this and more got parodied viciously by UFC analyst Dean Thomas. Here's the video.
And when the action begins, a referee in charge of the Octagon, Herb Dean.
Fight scheduled for 5-minute rounds. Here we go! Southpaw. Spin and a miss. May clinch. Looking for those uppercuts as well. Good movement. This place is awesome. Trying to throw down some ground and pound. Or just get out of harm's way. Crowd loving it, justifiably so.
Couple good right hands there by excellent exchanges here.
There is trouble. 1 minute on the clock. His hands all over.
My goodness. What a night, ladies and gentlemen. What a night.
Prior to Paulo Costa's UFC 278 fight against Luke Rockhold, the Brazilian made it known he was not happy with his UFC deal and planned on testing free agency. Since these comments, Costa has booked a fight against Robert Whittaker at UFC 284 in Australia. If he wins the scrap, he could very well be fighting for the title again, but now Costa revealed he will likely be going into boxing once his contract is over. He tweeted, "My miserable contract with the UFC was up in a few short months, will expire in time. A new boxer is coming to town." What do you guys think of this announcement from Costa? Do you believe it's a good idea for him to leave the UFC and move to boxing? Leave your thoughts below. TJ Dillashaw has responded to Cody Garbrandt's recent pitch of a trilogy fight. After losing to ALJAMAIN STERLING at UFC 280 and responding to Cody's pitch, Dillashaw said he had already beat Garbrandt with a similar shoulder issue in the past. With that, Cody took a shot at Dillashaw, calling him out once he's healthy. Just days after Garbrandt's callout, Dillashaw replied to the tweet during an interview on the MMA Hour, saying, "I don't even look into it. I mean, that makes zero sense to me at all. How is that guy even still in the UFC? He's lost 5 of his last 6 fights. I'm fighting for world titles. It's a reach. It's a way to stay in the news. I mean, he'll probably have 2 losses again before I even come back, so it won't even be worth my effort." ALJAMAIN STERLING and Marlon Chito Vera have teased a title fight between them in a back and forth exchange over social media. The back and forth started after Vera tweeted this. Okay, what date works for you, Funkmaster MMA? Make Henry vs Hasbullah, me vs the champ, call it a day, main and co-main easy at UFC at Dana White. Aljo replied, I said June, but I'm sure I'll have the itch to compete again sooner than that. I really don't care against who. If Dana says you, then it's done. Hashtag, I didn't forget you, Chito. Vera wrote back, I'm not tripping, let's do it. Trust me, I will make you remember. ALJAMAIN responded, this is why I do this sport. After I smash you, maybe we will have cervezas. Marlon wrote back, I'm finishing you. Meanwhile, Henry Cejudo proposed an interim title fight against Sean O'Malley, although Sugar doesn't sound interested. He wrote, I'd rather fight someone who deserves it, like Chito. Following his unanimous decision victory over Anderson Silva last Saturday, Jake Paul has called out Nate Diaz, and it seems pretty clear that the Stockton native will be Paul's next opponent. While speaking on the most recent episode of the DC and RC show, Daniel Cormier shared his thoughts on the Diaz-Paul matchup and said that there's no way Nate is scared of Jake and will not run from this potential fight. Here's a clip.
Look, that's one thing I can tell you about Nate Diaz, and I respect that about him, is if there are words spoken, he ain't gonna run away. Even like I told you the other day, he came up to me in the at the Apex whenever I went with my son and him. Now, he was smiling. I don't know if maybe that was because the kids were there. If it was just me and some other adults, maybe it would have been different. But he came and he told me, hey man, dude beat me in a wrestling match, not a fight. Because that's his thought. He didn't shy away from coming up to me to speak to me as most other fighters do. So he isn't afraid of Jake Paul. And that will make for a lot of money between these two. Because this kid, Paul, for all that you think, he's a fantastic young promoter. He does a great job of building an event. People seem to want to tune in to what Jake Paul is doing as they do with Nate Diaz. And if they are to fight, I would tap in again. Like, I'm constantly buying Jake Paul's events right now because there's a lot that surrounds it. And even if you want to see him win or if you want to see him lose, you tune in and it's making the kid a ton of money.
Here are the top 3 funniest memes we found over the internet. Third place was found over Reddit and was posted by a user named Just Looking Here Ain't I. Second place was found over Facebook and was posted by a user named John Cena. And our top pick was found over Twitter and was posted by a user named Ari Barbarian. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest MMA news.